Consider the facts. 2 out of every 3 Americans are overweight, and that number is expected to rise to 3 out of 4 by 2020. The United States is the world's fattest developed nation, with an obesity rate double of that in many European countries. 1 in 3 Americans is expected to have diabetes by 2050. Minorities have been even more profoundly affected. Blacks have a 50% higher prevalence of obesity, and Hispanics 25% higher when compared with whites. So how did it get this way?
Those bright lights in big cities had a lot to do with it. As a changing nation, we were moving away from the farm and closer to those lights, and to new kinds of jobs. And there were new kinds of stores and businesses and services. More new people wanting more new things, and more new things to sell, and new ways to produce things, so a man could produce more in fewer hours and make more pay. And back on the farm, there were new kinds of machinery, so that one man could do the work of others who had moved on to the city. Back in 1920, it took one man on the farm to feed every 10 people in this country. Nowadays, one man feeds 40. One man does the work of 4, and the other 3 move on to new jobs. And that's the way it's been in our country in many fields. Today, half the jobs we now have didn't even exist 30 years ago. Half our jobs are new kinds of jobs. Today, our country is spending $14 billion a year on research and development. $14 billion a year. And out of this research and development will come more new products and more new jobs. Since the Great Depression of the 30s, this new kind of economy in America, with the help of advertising, has created more than 25 million brand new jobs. In the next 10 years, it must create 13 million more. This is a new kind of economy. This is a new kind of America, with more for more people. One of advertising's jobs is to bring you news, information, and understanding of this new world around us, with its new products and services. Does advertising cost? Of course it does. Who pays for it? You, the customer. You know, about 70% of the things you buy in a supermarket today, you choose entirely on your own, without even a clerk to answer your questions. Advertising must answer these questions in advance. It must work for that small advertiser, as well as for the large one. It must use television, radio, magazines, and newspapers for the local as well as the national advertising. It must keep our competition keen, and competition must stir even more research and development to create new and better products, and in turn, new jobs and higher wages. And let's face it, more taxes to keep the American government ahead of its competition. It can be done.
The front of the car, please. You know why he says that? Habit. We're all creatures of habit. Food, for instance. What are we all going home to tonight? Spaghetti and meatballs, right? Potatoes, lots of starch.
Face the front.
How about a little variety once a week? Some light oriental dish, like chow mein. It's delicious, filling, but not too heavy.
Face the front.
Face the issue. Would it hurt any one of us to try a little chow mein tonight? Break the American food habit? Probably some tasty canned chow mein you could pick up at your grocer's. Of course, it's up to you. Don't let me influence you. I got no axe to grind.
Phew. Takes all kinds, huh?
Mr. McDowell?
Yeah.
There's some people here to see you.
They're not from McDonald's, are they?
I don't think so.
McDonald brothers. Yes, there really were 2 guys named McDonald. But even with the cutest car hops around, Dick McDonald realized customers wanted even faster service.
We were kind of getting into an age of jet propulsion, and this was really a horse and buggy operation. We knew we had to do something to speed things up.
That something was getting rid of everything on their menu except the big moneymakers, and then making those the way Detroit made cars, on an assembly line. Former CEO Fred Turner explains.
They got it down to 9 items. The production system on the hamburgers, the cheeseburgers, the fries, the milkshakes, they developed all of that.
In 1948, the Brothers Drive-In reopened as McDonald's custom-built hamburgers, featuring their speedy service system.
We began to get sales clerks, construction workers, cab drivers, and they loved the speed of it. Boy, they could come in, bingo. Another big factor, the youngsters loved it, so of course when we had the kids, we had mama and papas too.
McDonald's spends $2 billion in advertising aimed at every demographic imaginable, including, of course, children. McDonald's executives claim Ronald McDonald is one of the most recognizable characters on the planet, second only, they say, to Santa.
Ronald McDonald is a means of marketing directly to kids.
Did somebody say?
That is brilliant marketing.
Is it brilliant, or is it manipulative?
Of course it's manipulative.
Recent research finds that children under the age of 8 can't yet discern the manipulative intent of commercials.
The most insidious is to get kids to think that McDonald's Happy Meals, for example, are what kids are supposed to be eating. It's extremely subversive of parental authority.
Parents, does not the responsibility lie with them?
Of course the responsibility lies with parents. Parents are busy, they're tired, they may not see anything wrong with it.
Plus, those Happy Meals feature a constantly changing array of toys.
We come here for my son, who really likes the toys.
This mother says she and her son frequent McDonald's twice a week.
He starts yelling, McDonald's, let's go to McDonald's, you know, and he doesn't stop screaming until we agree to stop. And we eat often.
Mama, won't you Pillsbury, Pillsbury, Pillsbury? Mama, won't you Pillsbury, Pillsbury me? Make me some brownies, the chewiest kind. Make me some brownies, the chocolatey kind. I'll get a glass of milk and I won't be late for the fudgiest brownies I ever ate.
Just look at that brownie. It's real chocolatey and fudgy. And you know what? You can help your mother make them. It's fun. Ask your mother to get a box of Pillsbury Brownie Mix, the box with the big blue circle with the dots on it. Add water and stir it up like this. Then ask your mother to bake them. And before you can say Pillsbury Brownie Mix, you've got a plate full of the fudgiest, chewiest brownies you ever ate.
Mama, won't you Pillsbury, Pillsbury, Pillsbury? Mama, won't you Pillsbury, Pillsbury me?
In 2 generations, the American public has become more aware, sophisticated, discriminating, as well as more intelligent. And so is advertising.
Knock, knock. Who's there? William. William who? William ever use artificial ingredients in bars from Mars? Artificial? Never!
People are entitled to treat themselves at a certain level.
But are they entitled to treat themselves with government money?
By
as
all
opposed
means.
to their own money?
By all means, because soda is not the sole culprit of obesity. And if you're going to pinpoint what are the culprits of obesity, we're going to have to eliminate maybe 60% of the products we sell in the supermarkets today.
What about people who say, great, eliminate them?
Well, then you have to do that across the board, but the American food landscape is going to be totally different than what we know it today.
One drink for sale at the supermarket is Chubby. Imported from the Caribbean, the manufacturer of the drink boasts that it was developed to target children, and that it fits snugly in the palm of a child's hand. The U.S. has no rules or laws that prevent a soda from being marketed to children. Industry backers like it that way. An exciting new category in the soft drink industry was created when Chubby was developed to target children.
That's a terrible idea. But, I mean, when was the last time you were able to see little Chubbies? First of all,
here's little Chubbies. It's bought in Washington, D.C.
I'm not going to
make it small for
I'm
the
not going to
kids'
defend
hands.
little Chubbies. This is the kind of poor practice that shouldn't be occurring.
Should it be regulated?
Should it be regulated?
Yeah, it's about 7 donuts worth of sugar in there.
So, see. It doesn't.
They don't put the nutritional information on the bottle.
Oh, well, then it's on the container if it's on the package. Otherwise, it's not legal to be sold in the United States. I don't know where you got it.
Tell me about it. Got that in Washington, D.C.
Okay, well, I suspect you should probably
But you can
call
get
the
their
company.
nutritional information off their website.
Okay.
30 to 34
Well, I'm
grams
not
of
going to
sugar,
defend
depending on the flavor.
I'm just not going to defend it. That's a terrible practice.
Should it be regulated?
Should it be regulated?
Mm-hmm. Should children be protected from that?
Protected? Mm-hmm. That's what parents are for.
Ed Brusky was shocked at what he found when he volunteered in his daughter's elementary school cafeteria.
So I went in and expecting to see food cooked from scratch, and here comes all these frozen beef crumbles and tater tots.
Ed started taking pictures of the food for a new blog so that parents could see what their kids were eating. It was mostly processed food. That's partially because the USDA diverts raw excess food to large companies that return it to schools in the form of patties, pizzas, and nuggets.
It's all about money and the so-called value-added products where corporations can somehow get between you and real farm products and whip it into something that they can make money off of. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Our health versus their money.
So right after you eat these meals, you have energy. But the energy lasts a very short period of time, and you're hungry much sooner. And then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again.
It is a lot cheaper to go eat fast food. I mean, definitely, you can buy a hamburger for cheaper than you can buy an apple.
That's very sad because you're telling me I have to pay more in order to eat healthier, and I can pay less in order to get fat and to make you rich, or for something that I might die off of.
It's unbelievable.
The poorest people in our country are the fattest people. We've done something completely wrong here.
Hello. Hi. You know, I started on cleanup just like you guys. But now, see, I'm washing lettuce. Soon I'll be on fries, then the grill. A year or two, I make assistant manager. And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
Just 2 years, eh?
We do a lot of volume, and we do a lot of sandwiches, like fries is the #1 thing at McDonald's. We do a lot of fries. We do a lot of fries.
Davis was a rookie crew member when George Michel took over in 1990.
18 years ago, we weren't absolutely sure if we wanted to work with each other.
But Davis did stay, and 18 years later, he's operations manager, overseeing all 6 of Michel's McDonald's stores. Taken together, it's an $18 million business with more than 300 employees. Working at McDonald's is commonly dismissed as a McJob, low wages with a staggering turnover. But a good McDonald's manager can earn $100,000 a year or more. And soon, Davis will run his own McDonald's. After nearly 2 decades with George Michel, he's set to become an owner-operator himself. And he expects to do very well.
You may not be a billionaire rich, you may not be a Bill Gates rich, but you're going to be rich enough for you to retire early if you want and be comfortable.
It's not out of the question that you might be a millionaire.
No, it's not.
I made up my mind that if I ever got into the food business, I would do what this one was doing or what that one was doing, and I wouldn't do what that other one was doing. And I got so that I could assess values.
In 1939, Kroc saw value in a new device one of his customers had built. A 5-spindled milkshake machine called the multi-mixer. Kroc knew immediately that a machine capable of making 5 milkshakes at a time was a big improvement over the single-spindled machines that most soda fountains were using. At 37, Kroc left a successful career in the paper cup business and became the multi-mixer's exclusive distributor.
Ray made a lot of money selling multi-mixers. I think in the late 40s or around 1950, he was making about $25,000 a year, which was a lot of money in those days.
But as Ray approached his 50th birthday, his business began to slow down. By the early 1950s, suburbs began blanketing the American landscape, and the exodus from the cities was on. Many neighborhood soda fountains were forced to close up shop. Ray was losing customers by the dozen, but one small restaurant in San Bernardino, California, kept ordering more machines. Kroc had to see for himself the type of place that needed to churn out up to 40 milkshakes at a time. In 1954, he flew to California and met the two brothers who would change his life, Dick and Mac McDonald. After World War II, Americans began to look at the world in a whole new way.
After the war, there was this sense that we worked hard, we fought, we won this war. Now the good life is ours. It is owed to us. And by definition, that good life involves speed of all kinds. Speed in fast cars with tail fins that look like they could fly. And speed in terms of getting what you want when you wanted it.
You know, we were kind of getting into an age of jet propulsion, and this was really a horse and buggy operation. So we knew we had to do something to speed things up.
Because our country is moving, and has been moving for 20, 30, 40 years, from an economy of scarcity to an economy of abundance. An abundance for everyone.
All right.
Can I just get just the sandwiches, please?
Okay.
I'll have one hamburger.
One regular hamburger?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One cheeseburger.
Okay.
One bacon cheeseburger.
Okay.
One double cheeseburger.
Okay.
One double bacon cheeseburger.
Okay.
One junior Whopper.
Okay.
One Whopper.
Okay.
One angry Whopper. One double Whopper.
Okay.
And one triple Whopper.
Okay. You want cheese on the triple Whopper?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And can I get a crown?
Sure. Okay, so I got one Whopper, one double Whopper, one triple Whopper with cheese, one Whopper Junior, one angry Whopper, one hamburger, one cheeseburger, one double cheeseburger, one bacon cheeseburger, and one bacon double cheeseburger.
That is correct.
Okay, so 3515 drive-thru, please.
All right, have a good day. Go have some fun. Once again, the rules are pretty simple. All you gotta do is eat one of each of the hamburgers on the Burger King menu, ranging from the simple hamburger all the way up to the sophisticated triple Whopper. I am the LA Beast, and I am the Burger King. Have a good day.
Mr. McDowell? Yeah? There's some people here to see you.
They're not from McDonald's, are they?
I don't think so.
CEO Jim Skinner says people don't eat at McDonald's often enough for it to be blamed for obesity. And he says the menu offers lots of items that fit a healthy lifestyle. But the fact of the matter is, for McDonald's, its bread and butter is still meat and potatoes. Big Mac, large fry, and a large Coke. 1,430 calories, 59 grams of fat.
Right.
How is the public supposed to take your directives to make healthy choices when so much of the bread and butter of the business is that kind of food, which is clearly not healthful?
Yeah. Well, you have to make choices, you know, and personal responsibility, and make decisions about what you eat.
The fact is, every day, millions of people choose burgers and fries.
Since you, the customer, pay the sales cost in the end, this is important to you.
drink you ever made.
Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid.
Be sure that the envelope says Kool-Aid.
You can give your youngsters a lot of pleasure with Kool-Aid. You know it's pure and good. It has the Parents Magazine seal. And it's so thrifty. A 5-cent package makes 2 full quarts. Just add Kool-Aid to water with ice, add some sugar, and stir.
For the very best drink you ever made.
Be sure that the envelope says Kool-Aid.
That's advertising. Telling you about one of 3,500 new products in the supermarket. New in the last 10 to 15 years.
Hectic lifestyles and the wonders of computer technology are here to stay. Fitting a decent meal into our schedule may seem impossible. So can making room for fresh air and exercise. Such trends can spell big trouble, especially for the very young. An era of fast food and video games has spawned a new generation of overweight kids, whose play and eating habits are altogether different than the youngsters of bygone days.
It used to be that kids maybe had 1 soda every week or every 2 weeks, and now they're having up to 2 sodas a day, and it's just too much.
Dr. Chris Mattson is with the Weight Clinic at UCSF Medical Center and points out that 15% of kids today are considered overweight or obese, but it jumps to 30% among poor families who can't afford fresh produce or can't get to a large supermarket that offers it. Much of the weight problem can be explained by simple inactivity.
They're not necessarily walking to school. They don't have physical education to the extent that they used to. And they're watching more television.
TV not only keeps kids on the couch, it can lead to a bad diet.
The problem is that what kids see on television is almost all junk food. In fact, there's almost no nutritional food that's advertised on TV.
Big D. I can't even see the sign. These too many plush trees. Somebody's been abusing their water.
How can I help you? Good. Can I get 25 Big Macs? 25 Big Macs? Yeah, okay. Just the sandwiches. Sure. Would that be all?
What do you guys want?
Okay. So you said 25 Big Macs, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll actually help. I'll post this first window.
How you guys doing? So you just said 25 Big Macs,
Yeah, 25
right?
Big Macs.
Alright, what you're going to do is, can you pull up in the front for me?
Okay.
So that way, you know, you can't...
Do I come into the restaurant and order inside then?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what
All right, perfect. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm getting a Big Mac. It's a new box. 25 Big Macs, a jalapeno chicken, and a Diet Coke. That was intense. Alright, so apparently, the current world record for Big Macs eaten in an hour-long time frame is 17. 17 Big Mac sandwiches set by a man in the UK who goes by the moniker Beer Meets Food. 25 Big Mac sandwiches, a little under 11 pounds of McDonald's iconic sandwich, 15,250 calories, $120 on my credit card. This is one Whopper of an order. Alright, here we go. One regulation size, Big Mac sandwich. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Minutes. 20 minutes. You think I'll beat that?
Yeah, I guess it's part of the burger. That's not gonna hate you.
I did not sign up for it. What were we at? This is absolutely disgusting. I'm never doing this again.
economics of our food structure are completely working against public health. I mean, you almost couldn't have designed a worse environment where you take your least healthy products, things that are high in sugar and fat and salt and highly processed, and you make them significantly less expensive than your most healthy products.
And a lot of families are just in that financial situation where cheap food is so heavily subsidized, so falsely inexpensive, that they just don't know any better, you know? And I tell you, once they find out what we've done with their food system, what we're doing to their children, hopefully they'll be up in arms about it.
Okay, the reason why I actually decided to put together this Docu-Mashup is that it started at the dinner table, funnily enough. So this is the Yummy Cottage, and I made flatbread and I made fava beans. Excellent. If you haven't tried fava beans. Anyway, I made flatbread and fava beans, and I put dandelions before my daughter, and she's like, dandelions. Now, I've made dandelions before, and it all depends on, it's going to have a naturally bitter taste, but it depends on how you season it. And so I made the dandelions, and she made a big deal about the dandelions, so I said, what's the problem with dandelions? Anyway, I told her to look it up. She began to look it up, saw all of the amazing benefits of dandelion leaves, and said it was good for diabetes. I said, well, look up diabetes. She's like, no. I said, let's look up diabetes. And we see these staggering statistics of diabetes. So now all the children are around, and we're looking at these staggering statistics of over 100 million people in the United States either have pre-diabetes or full-blown diabetes. So it's more, 83 million people have pre-diabetic, including children, and then on the other side you have 30 million people who have diabetes. And so I began to speak to her, and I said, let me just do a quick search, and the CDC came up, and this graph came up, and it charted diabetes from 1958 to the present. And when I began to see the incline, my mind, the way it works is like, well, what's going on in 1958? I had to know. And so I said, let me see when the fast food boom started to take place in 1958. Or in and around that time. So it's the 50s going into the 60s. You see this boom, fast food. Major players like McDonald's, you have later on KFC, you have food giants start coming in. Companies took the place of the parents in the home. And the companies, which oftentimes have a masculine energy, a masculine spirit, where how much can I get for less? So as opposed to thinking about nurturing the child, it's how can I exploit this market to make the most that I can? How can I stretch this? And that's kind of what happened. So we have all of these companies started moving into the home. They started moving into the space that the feminine principle used to be. And when she moved off base, she trusted them to feed her children, to feed her family, to feed her husband, to feed herself. And a lot of people may get upset with this, but go back and look at the chart. More of this research will be coming soon. So what do we don't just leave you there. We say, what can we do now? Now that we know, we look for better alternatives. I know it's not a lot. It's like 0 to none or 1 to 100. But what we're trying to do here at the Yummy Cottage is bring a piece of home to you. Opening up a local establishment here where you can get wholesome food affordably, even if you're on the run. I'm sharing, everyone. No, this is scrambled bean curd, okay? Seasoned, of course, as you can see. Tell me, you already know what this looks like, right? Your peppers, your egg. Remember this? The vegan cheddar cheese. You feel me? Make me taste it. No, make me taste it. Cheese, yeah. Real talk. And the homemade, how we gonna forget the homemade yum yum bread and the homemade vegan butter. More to come. Yummy Kitchen, not good to eat and talk. We got to go. 1. want to open the Yummy Cottage vegan catering and teaching classes of how to eat healthy. You don't have to become a vegan or a vegetarian, but you definitely can swap out some of your meals with healthy. So let's try to take a look. I'm waiting for the real estate guy right now. And this is the plaza. As you can see, it has a number of locations for lease. And the biggest store that's in the plaza is what's this here? The Dollar General over here. And so this is the plaza. And it doesn't have any food stores. So if we do come here, see, we will be the only food store here. So let's take a look inside. Okay, so this is. So you say it used to be a daycare?
Yes.
This location used to be a daycare.
And I think you and I talked about square footage a fair amount on the phone.
Right.
And you can see, based on this column and where these doors are.
Right. That this is
those columns there. Naturally, based on the original construction of the building, this is where
two units.
Yes, and that over there, although it's not right in the center where it would naturally be, that's a separate unit also.
Correct.
And the kitchen stuff, and again, I can't warrant
how well it is.
Yeah, whether it works or not or anything. But in a lot of ways, commercial kitchen type of stuff, the big deal is just that
the
it's
hood.
there.
Right.
Yes, it's already in there with whatever permits and things are necessary.
Correct.
I don't know about the age or let's say the charge condition or anything for the fire suppression.
Right.
But that stuff right there is well, I'm sure you've been looking into some of this.
Yeah, these are the things that needs to be.
It's super expensive to put that in initially. And it's hard to get a place that already has this sort of thing in place at a decent rent.